House Speaker Paul Ryan raised $657,000 while avoiding his constituents during the recess. The Intercept reports. If you guys don't know The Intercept, you should check them out. It is a very reliable news source. I love their work. They talked about how the Speaker, Ryan, did not do any town halls during recess, which there are a lot of constituents across the country who are really kind of pissed off with the way the world is right now, at least the way the country is, and the way we're spending our tax dollars. And a lot of these people, Democrats and Republicans, and I love them for doing it because they're civically minded. This might be the one silver lining that Donald Trump has. He's causing people to learn about politics and your government. You know, if Hillary Clinton would have won, we'd have all gone back to sleep. You know it's the truth. But anyway, Paul Ryan did not do any town halls during the recess, which was a little less than 2 weeks. And in those 9 or 10 days that he was avoiding doing those town halls, he was jet-setting across the country, making money, making over $600,000. Now, this is not Paul Ryan's money-making ability usually goes untouted. People don't really talk about it, but this guy brings in the cash for the RNC, not just for himself, but for the entirety of the RNC. It was kind of funny in his Racine office in Wisconsin. There were a lot of his constituents demanding to meet him, and they had this like little tongue-in-cheek missing persons ad after him. Where is Paul Ryan? He disappeared January 20th, 2017. We haven't seen him since. They also go on to talk about how newly filed campaign filings show that Ryan what he was doing instead was jet-setting across the country, raking in a whopping $657,400 in contributions in just 9 days. Wow. He just got to go around and show his pretty face, and they just throw cash at him. Let's see here. They also talk about where he was: Miami, Corpus Christi, Fort Worth, Dallas, Houston. Boy, he raked in a lot of cash from Texas, didn't he? The Supreme Court in 2014, McCutcheon versus the FCC, ruling eliminated the cap and on the total amount any individual can contribute to a federal candidate's established campaign after the Watergate scandal. So, 2009, they did the Citizens United, and they keep coming up to new regulations that they want to get rid of, and it works its way up to the Supreme Court. And with the right-leaning Supreme Court we have, it's just always, okay, we're going to err on the side of money in politics is okay, corporations are people, and money is free speech. Let's see here. There's some really astounding numbers here. In the first 3 months of the year, just this year, Ryan's joint fundraising committee brought in an astounding $17.2 million in 3 months. Ryan affiliates Super PAC, it's called the Congressional Leadership Fund, also raked in about $4.5 million during that same period. The CLF, the Congressional Leadership Fund, which can accept unlimited contributions from virtually any source, was the CEO group, the Florida-based private prisons company, gave $100,000. Way to go for that prison recidivism. We love it when they come back to stay at our hotel. And Chevron gave him $250,000. He Ryan's pedigree as a fundraiser often goes overlooked given his careful crafted image as a policy wonk. I don't know how that man can be considered a policy wonk, because when he was giving his Ryan Care plan, and he was standing up there in front of the graph saying that healthy people are going to pay for the sick people, that's just crazy. Ryan, that's how insurance works. Not everybody is crashing their car at the same time. So the people who are driving carefully and not crashing their car, their insurance money covers the people that do crash their car. So when people are sick, it gets paid for by the majority of people who are healthy. That's how it works. He was talking about, why should a young person have to pay insurance now to pay for a 40-year-old woman's breast cancer or a 50-year-old man's prostate? Because that 20-something person will eventually become 40 and 50 and 60, God willing. So they're going to need that insurance then. And then the 20-somethings of that generation will pay for them. That is how insurance works. You moron. But he's a policy wonk. Policy out of his ass. And I'll finish it with this. This special election to replace Pompeo was against James Thomas, a Bernie-esque Democrat, against Ron Estes, a very large and in charge Republican. You know, I can always tell a Republican and a Democrat just by looking at them. But during that election, Democrats did not really come and support James Thompson. They didn't show up. I mean, I remember him asking for money for printouts for paper so he could hand them out, door to door, knocking on door to door, and they wouldn't even fund that. But the Republicans, they got behind their guy, and the Ryans backed RNC and the CLF parties collectively spent $180,000 just to bolster those last few days before these, and he won. Now, mind you, Kansas is a very red state, and it was surprising that the progressive James Thompson got like 45% of the vote in an epically red state. It was amazing, and no help from the DNC. He almost won. And this is only a few months after Donald Trump is elected to office, so obviously this stuff is working. But the pockets of the RNC run deep, and Paul Ryan, he is a money-making machine, and those guys came and dumped copious amounts of cash on that election to make sure that Ron Estes won this election, and he did. He got 51% of the vote, or 53%, and James Thomas got 45%. But if you're progressive and you're looking at this, it's doable. You don't have to have big money donors to do this. Even though they are dumping all this cash in these elections, it is a possibility, a really distinct possibility, that in 2018 we could really turn Congress around. So just keep that in mind with what's going on in Kansas and what's going on in Georgia right now with those special elections and how close they are and how it looks like progressives could really pull this off. We're tired of waiting for you guys to do the right thing. It's time for the American people to stand up and do it for themselves. Anyway, I just wanted to illustrate how corrupt the money system is and how Paul Ryan is basically just sitting right on top of this huge pile of cash. Paul Ryan, you rock. Hey, this is Antoinette from Transistor Rodeo. If you like what you saw here, please subscribe for more videos and content, and you can follow me on Twitter at Transistor Rodeo.